Today I'm going to be getting inspiration from a book that's not about watercolor, but we're going to learn some watercolor and pen and ink marks. So I have this book that I got several years ago. It's called 101 Textures in Colored Pencil. So I thought, I could use this for other purposes. I was into colored pencil back then, but it's such a slow medium to work in. I like working on top of watercolor with colored pencils sometimes. So I thought this would be a good book. However, I gathered quite a bit of inspiration on it. So I went digging through some of my supplies and I found this circle stamp. And I thought we would try a new idea today. And I stamped some circles on this watercolor sketchbook. This is the Super B Super Deluxe Mixed Media. It's 25% cotton. It's thinner paper, so it can't take a huge amount of water, but it can take some. And then I got these little archival ink stamps, and I'll link them in the description below, and a stamp in the description. But you don't need a stamp. You can just take a marker and make circles, trace around a lid or something, and do it in micron or even watercolor. You can just make circles, even in pencil. But this pad keeps wanting to drop out, so I'm just tapping on there so that pad won't drop out. I probably ought to do it over here, so if it does fall out, then it will fall. It'll fall on the, and I'm just kind of eyeballing it. And I'll hold that stamp down for a minute, just a few seconds, just so that ink can transfer well. We'll put that over there. We're done with that. I didn't want to do all 4 of them on camera so you wouldn't be bored. So here we go. Let's lift that up. Pretty good transfer. So, all right. I'm trying to not say so much. So it's hard to, when you're so used to speaking that way, when you're thinking, you automatically insert filler words. I am going to be using the Rosa Gallery little 12 set today. This set is really nice just to pop out, and it's really affordable. It's like 20 bucks. And I'm just going to get some colors here, and I'm going to stick with the fall theme. So I'll probably be doing some color mixing. Let's go with, let's start with this yellow ochre. And get a mix going. These are really nice paints. The only thing I say is, they're handmade, or hand poured. They're not extruded paints, so they do wear down in the pan a little more quickly than if you would have gotten a pan set. Or even Daniel Smith, once you've squirted them into a palette and let them dry, they just, are slow wearing. Let's see, I'll put this yellow ochre in. And we'll get these drying, and then we'll go look at that book. I think it's a very interesting book to gather inspiration. Okay, so what should we do next? Maybe a a dark green. So I've got this green right here, and I believe it's just called green. And I might add a little bit of madder red to it, just to give it a little bit of a color of a, you know, pine or an evergreen tree. Let's mix some more up. I didn't mix enough up. I went a little too brown on me. Yeah, it's like a nice hunter green. There. Okay, I can already tell that maybe, unless this shifts lighter, maybe we'll be using something contrasting that's going to show up on that, which it might be white gouache or maybe a white gel pen to make some marks. All right, let's go. Let's try to mix a fall red. So I'm going to go here. And when we think of a fall red, we maybe think of orange. I'm going to put a little bit of cadmium orange in there. Said that's real cadmium orange, it's real cadmium yellow. And maybe I'll grab a little bit of this green just to tone it a little bit. That's kind of pretty. Maybe kind of like an Indian red. That's pretty. Oh yeah. I like that. If you know your color theory and what it's going to do, you don't need many paints. Like I don't need an English red or an Indian red because I kind of know how to get it. Sometimes if you use a lot of that color, you might want a tube of it just as a convenience color. Okay. All right, so now we've got a green, a yellow, a red. Now let's try maybe a smoky blue. Okay, let's see what we got here. I think we've got this ultramarine, which is a pretty bright blue. And how are we going to dull that down? Well, you could use its complement, orange, to get it a little duller. I find that sometimes a yellow ochre is just enough to take the edge off, to make it just a little bit. It won't turn it green, but it will just desaturate and mute that enough to make it like a country blue. I don't know. I like that mix. I love that. You can do it with yellow ochre, or raw sienna will do the same thing. And it just doesn't seem to want to turn it green. It's a little streaky on this paper. But, okay, so we got those. Let's let them dry. And while they're drying, we'll go through this book. Set that over to the side. Okay. So, it's got several different things of inspiration on the front. You know, like there's a tree branch and leaves and rocks and fire flames and grasses. But let's go through it. This first part talks about your tools and materials, and then color mixing with colored pencil, which we're not going to go into. If you'd like me to go in more depth of this book, let me know in the comments below. And it talks about how to get different techniques with colored pencil, how to get different, you know, like fur. However, you can use these as, okay, like a spider web. So why can't you look on this green? There is a white spider web. So I might do a white spider web with gel pen on that green circle. So that is one thing I'll do. I hate to dog ear my books, but I'm going to. All right, so on the next one, okay, here's some interesting patterns. Oh, I like this weave here. Tweed. All right. I could see doing that on that red or even the yellow. I might dog ear that one. Oh. Somebody let me know in the comments below if you hate dog earing books. I should have got some post-it notes out. I just don't know. There's denim, silk, satin, velvet, leather. Okay, there's sequins. That doesn't really scream fall to me. Oh, this woven basket. That kind of could be fall. Let's see. What else could we use? Now we're not going to do it in colored pencil. We're going to do it in watercolor and ink. Oh, there's brick. I think I made that too dark of a wash to come back and do it with, unless, we could try to lift some lightness. Let's keep that in mind. There's wood. That might be good on that yellow. There's a wooden barrel. I kind of like the wood. I want to try to stick to the fall theme. Oh, here's some nature stuff coming up. Smooth bark, rough bark, pine needles, pine cone. We could do a pine cone on the yellow. Thatched roof, palm frond. Interesting. River pebbles. River pebbles, okay. Let's see. Still don't have anything for the blue. There's a leaf. Fall foliage. We might be able to do a leaf on that red one. And there's about the artist, Denise Howard. She is from Missouri. She's very good. All right, so I decided on the, chocolate with s'mores. That's interesting. There's a peach. Peaches kind of fall. We could try it, see what happens. I might have to draw that peach. Long basket. Okay, I can see the tweed on let's start out with the spider web and the tweed. And the fall leaf. And then we'll see where the blue takes us. So, okay, I'm just going to use this as a reference. Is that dry? Let me hit that with blow dryer. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm not going to go in with a pencil and pre-sketch anything. I'm just going to go in and wing it. So it looks like there's a small circle. Of course, this isn't working. Let's give the signal a try. Oh, that's working now. Let's see if it'll keep working. And you got another circle. And then it kind of spirals around. And of course it quits. Let's try. Let's see. I think I took my other one inside. Okay, I found all these that did not work. And here is a Uniball Signo Broad. And I'm going to see how long this one works for me. And after you get a couple 3 lines in the middle, darn it. What is it with these? You know, I had an Art and Fly. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, I have bought these Art and Fly, and I was going to see how they compared to, if they work. I'll link them below. I usually have the best luck with jelly rolls. So once you get that center done, it comes out and you just come out and make lines. So far, so good. I don't know if you can see it, but it's working the best so far. I'm wondering if sometimes the watercolor gets it clogged up, because that is quitting too. And yeah, I don't want any friction when I'm doing art, so I'm going to use this Posca Uniball White. This is a pen type, 0.07. You have to shake them up. And we'll see how that works. I think I'm going to have the best luck with this. And then once you get your lines, you just come around, and it looks to me like, you know, it goes like that. I don't think I was doing it right in the beginning. Yeah, that looks more like a spider web. And then come down and do it the same way. So I kind of messed up right there. But the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. Yeah, I think I'm going to use this for white lines in the future. It just doesn't seem to give me the grief that I'm going to come in with these lines. to the center. There. Spider web. Not perfect, but reasonable facsimile. It's marks that you can use for designs on your sketchbook page. So, okay, let's get the next. I always get real excited when I have new inspiration. All right, so, darn it, what did I do with that sepia pen? Well, this is a brush pen. It is sepia. This is an 005. And that's a 1. Let's use this 005. It's really tiny. Okay, so on this circle, I'm going to try these tweed marks. And it is just a herringbone pattern. I'm going to use a really fine micron, 005. You could start out with pencil. Matter of fact, I think I will. I think I will start out in pencil. And that way it won't show so much when I put the watercolor on. Alright, so I just need a straight edge. And I'm just going to make some lines. If I had my everyday sketching tool, I could measure them more evenly, because it's such a good thing to have in your toolbox to keep even lines. I'm just guesstimating here. And gonna make lines, pencil lines. I think this is interesting, and it's just good practice to look at other things and, you know, glean information and mark making marks, you know, for doodles or other type of textures. Okay, so now that I did that, I am just going to start coming and making lines this way in a diagonal. And you could kind of get into it like Zentangle. I'm going to have to turn my page so that'll feel more natural. And you can do that. You can turn your page. Okay, I want to show you this close up in case you can't see it. Kind of looks like Legos or something. But we'll put the next part on. And the way I understand that she's explaining it, she's putting a glaze on that after she does it with the first color. And then after that, she is taking a dark umber and heavy pressure and drawing the herringbone ribs in a very short vertical strokes. And they don't need to be perfect. Well, they're not vertical, they're diagonal. But we could do that. We could do it with watercolor. And we could take some, I think this is umber or sepia. And we could just draw them on there, make marks. And you don't want to make the center line. You just want to make the cross lines, the diagonal lines. And I think it would be better just to use the smaller brush so you don't have a lot of water. I want those to connect. I could see where doing it with a pencil could be, a colored pencil could be quite effective because of the texture of the colored pencil. But we're trying it with watercolor. I'm not a colored pencil artist. I get frustrated with it because it's slow. I do like to use colored pencils sometimes to provide texture or depth to a piece. Let's get a little bit more water here. I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I'm going to try to work past this, what I call the ugly stage. So put down in the comments below what the temperature is at your location. Is it starting to cool off yet? Are you starting to get autumn weather, or you still got the mugginess of summer? Today we had a little bit of humidity, but it's cloudy. It's starting to get cloudy, like it's gonna try to rain and change the weather. And I guess tomorrow it's supposed to be 45 degrees. So that'll be sweater weather, jacket weather, hoodie. Get out your favorite hoodie. I just got a new hoodie. I'm excited to wear it. It looks very comfortable. but it's too hot yet. It's still in the 80s. All right, we're getting close. I'm ready to put a glaze. I think I'm going to need to put a glaze over this to bring it together. I think once I do, it will feel more like a piece of clothing. So look on this. It's almost, okay, I see where she's talking about vertical strokes, because she's taking her colored pencil and she's going like this in the pattern that's going like this. She's taking the pencil and she's going like this. And that's making those vertical strokes. And that's making that oh no, can you see? It's making that look like stitches. So that's interesting. So that's something to think about. I wonder what we could do without going to a colored pencil. Or we could go to a colored pencil. I have a Prismacolor over here. This is actually a walnut brown by Faber-Castell. I'm going to do a couple of them. It's not sharp enough. It's not sharp enough. But I could see, let me give it a sharpen. I could see where that's going to be more effective. I'll be darned. Yeah. It's like stitches. And I made the herringbones just a little bit too close together. So let's just leave that and we'll see how that final glaze, and let's see, they put a final terracotta glaze over it. Well, no, they did. So let's see, if we took a little bit of this and maybe some of that umber we were using, or sepia, I can't remember, with a just light pigment. Yeah, I think it would be more effective with colored pencil. So, all right, I'm going to leave that for now. And we're going to go on to the next one. All right, for this red one, I'm going to do a fall leaf. And I've already painted it dark red. So what I'm going to do is I am going to lift around. I'm just using a cheap brush here. It's just from a big box store. I'm not using any of my good brushes. And I'm just going to paint some water around. I sketched in I think it's a maple leaf. It could be a Japanese maple leaf. And I'm going to lift around it. And go over here, paint that on around the edges of my sketch. Oh my goodness. I get so into what I'm doing that these videos end up being so long. Let me know if you like long videos or do you like short videos. I like doing long videos. I like them. But let me know what you like, because I can do shorter ones too. All right, so with this last one, I'm going to try to do some clouds. I'm going to see if this will lift enough to lift some clouds out of there. Have my paper towel ready? I think it is. We're going to just I'm going to be very deliberate because I like how that pigment is pushing towards the center. And I'm getting some shadow. And come over here and get some I like to have brushes like this too. That's not precious, that I can just move things around. And let's take a little bit down here. Oh, look at that. That just pushed that pigment up. I'm going to rinse. I'm not going to blot. I like that. I might blot a little bit right here. And I might take and give myself another little cumulus up here for the composition. Yay! How's that look? Does it look like clouds? Kinda. I think I need to move this one over just a little bit more. Yep, I think that looks pretty good. And maybe put a little bit of white. I got titanium white watercolor in this, and it's really good. So I can add some of this white to, and it'll kind of fade in. I really enjoy this titanium white watercolor. Rosa Gallery. It's really nice for clouds and skies. How's that look? Pretty good? All right, so the only other thing I think, I will need to finish this. I'll do that and show you a picture of the total finished page. And I'm going to go around this with the micron. But we got sweater weather, we've got spider webs, we've got fall leaves, and we've got cloudy skies. So I hope you enjoyed this video, you guys, and I hope that I see your comments in the below. I'll be down there anytime you want to talk to me. Just reach out and I will answer your comments. I'm answering all of them right now. So have a good rest of your weekend. Bye-bye. Okay, so I really enjoyed this exercise. We went from 101 textures in colored pencil and we did it in watercolor. Okay, well, not all watercolor. We did do some stamping, and I used a little colored pencil on this tweed, but it turned out so effective. Tweed, spider web, maple leaf, and a cloudy sky. So I hope you like this, and I hope you'll come back and join me again. If you like this video and want to try it, hit that like button and subscribe, because I'm trying to come up with new ideas that I haven't seen on YouTube. So talk to you later. Bye.